Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and welcome back to a quite remarkable 24 hours in the Call of Duty world. Loads of reaction, and understandably so, to the remarkable news of Microsoft buying Activision. Scump and others certainly weigh in on this issue, but also Maven Merk, an update on that front, apparently not offered a contract at all from the CDL. Loads to dive into today. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Top of this channel, recently people, and thank you very much also for 74,000 subscribers. Growth on the channel has understandably lately not exactly been the quickest, but we're still well on the way to 100,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate every single one of you new guys who joined along for the ride. Let's dive into this then first of all, because when this first came out yesterday, I was like, okay, surely this can't be true, like someone's just making this up when the Wall Street Journal was initially reporting it, but I believe that the people who worked at Activision, they only found out yesterday morning, so by the time it even leaked to the press, the confirmations are already coming out from the official sources, so quite remarkable. I thought, like, there's no way, right, this actually is the case. I don't know if antitrust is going to have a word to say on this, but I mean, Activision Blizzard, a massive company, they were, and maybe they are again now, the biggest games company by market cap in the US, just because they used to be, and then they lost so much of their stock price. Their stock price went down so far because of all the, you know, allegations that we've talked about over these last few months, that I'm pretty sure they fell below Roblox in like terms of total market cap, but their stock price shot up again like 20% yesterday on the announcement of this news. So still quite incredible. Now, you know, so many implications here, right? Because I think we've really felt as Call of Duty fans the last couple of years, certainly I have the last 6 months, that, you know, where is the light at the end of the tunnel here? Because it seems like Activision are trying to milk Call of Duty for everything it's worth, probably not doing the best things, especially for competitive COD in the long term, just pumping out new games every year, they get worse every single year. It's just really frustrating. You didn't really see that coming to an end. So this is definitely giving some optimism to some people, especially when this of course comes out from Xbox officially confirming it, that at some point in the next 18 months or so, the deal is going to be closed and pretty much everything under the Activision Blizzard heading will come under Xbox and Microsoft. All of these games. Of course, there's a lot also to talk about here in terms of like the Game Pass and like everything, like the old Call of Duty games might be accessible to play on all the consoles. Like, well, hopefully they don't make things Xbox exclusive. I don't imagine they would do that for Call of Duty because there's just so much revenue to be gained from the other platforms. But still, look, who knows if it's going to be good or bad in the short term. I think a lot of people are just excited that there might be fresh eyes on how to deal with Call of Duty as a franchise. Because, you know, I think a lot of people have already thought the last year or so that, okay, maybe it's not the best in the long term and also for competitive to have new games every single year. It gets really frustrating for, well, the fans to deal with, also the players to deal with as well. Maybe it's better to have kind of a COD mobile title, which that actually have that on PC and, well, consoles as well, right? That people can play year after year with new updates and stuff like this. You could argue that mobile is probably the most successful Call of Duty title that's out at the moment. But I feel like Activision Blizzard, because, you know, they're just so driven by money, it seems, right? Like, they probably would never want to go away from the yearly model where they make so much money each year from the releases, even if it's not best for the long term of the game. Maybe some fresh eyes can say, okay, look, let's look at Call of Duty in a different light. Let's actually give it some competitive focus like Halo has, right? Which is also under the Xbox heading, like at launching with ranked play, all this type of stuff. So, you know, I think there's certainly some real positive potentials that can come from this. Now, in the short term, nothing realistically is going to change. It's going to take quite some time for this to all go through. Pretty sure by June of 2023, that's when Bobby Kotick's going to get kicked out of there, and potentially earlier than this, right? But I think this is when he expects the deal to be finalized. So it's still going to be quite some time. And of course, even after then, Activision kind of, well, it comes under the Microsoft heading. It could be quite some time till anything substantial actually gets changed. Thanks to Ryan for pointing this out to me. But yeah, definitely some exciting stuff, right? We've seen what's happened with Halo and just the way they've kind of handled that from a competitive perspective. I'm thinking if they take a similar approach to Call of Duty, it could be really positive. Now, still, who knows whether this is actually going to be good or bad? I think we've had a lot of things that have kind of driven hope in the COD scene as of late, or at least occasionally. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't always work out for the best. So there could be positives, there could be negatives. It's not like Microsoft had the greatest track record of killing it with every single game they kind of undertake. But still, I think definitely the kind of light at the end of the tunnel idea to me is kind of powerful, because I didn't really feel like with the way Activision were doing things that there was too much hope for the longevity of the franchise, I suppose, especially from a competitive perspective. Now it definitely brings that hope back a little bit, especially with what Halo have done. So Scump has some response to this. We'll look at some response from a few of the other players here in a couple of minutes time. But Scump has a similar opinion to mine. Really excited, really surprised this didn't leak earlier, quite honestly. And also just looking at the way Halo has done things, I'm kind of hoping there could be a similar future ahead for Call of Duty.
I had no idea that this was happening. Usually, I hear from someone if something big is happening like this. I had no idea. Microsoft bought Activision. That is crazy to me. Doesn't come into effect until 2023, though, so feels far in the future. Yeah, I would agree with that. It does feel far away. What does that mean for COD? Dude, honestly, I don't really know. I don't know how it's going to affect like the development of the games. I don't know what's going to happen with the studios. I would assume there's probably going to be a little bit more emphasis on certain things that we've been waiting on. I mean, like I said, just look at Halo, for instance. They came out with an incredible rank system, a fully polished game for the most part. It's just really exciting. It's exciting. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what it means.
Of course, no guarantees everything's going to work out for the best, but well, as Ghost I Hope says right here, thought this is kind of a nice idea. COD 2023 done by Trek. That's another thing as well, that it seems like Activision has really starved the developers of the resources they need. Just saying, look, I mean, basically cutting staff all over the shop, saying, look, this is what you've got to do. You've got to pump out the game ASAP. Maybe with some actual proper developer support, they're actually supported by the publisher itself, then maybe you could have, well, a cracking competitive title again. So definitely, well, making me a little bit optimistic. Don't want to get too crazy though. And as Tony Flames is actually, of course, a developer for Treyarch, 2022, perhaps I underestimated you. So maybe like if he's talking about this as well, which you would imagine he is because he tweeted this out at exactly the same time, that well, he's kind of excited at the prospect that they might get more resources and more whatever they need from Activision that maybe they haven't got the last couple of years. That's been a challenging time for them. This also, right, because there has been some thought, okay, could things change sooner than that? Like, I think maybe from some perspective, you can look at the fact that, okay, Activision, while this kind of transfer is going through, they've got to make themselves look as good as they possibly can. So they're going to probably cut costs. They're going to try and make things look as good as they can do, which, you know, may be in part one of the reasons why they seem to be trying to cost cut on the CDL front, which may be why Maven and Merk don't seem to have a contract on their table as yet. We'll have a look at that here in a second. So there are some potential negative short-term consequences if Activision are basically trying to, like, make the books look as good as they possibly can for this transfer, which might not be for the best of the Call of Duty League and Call of Duty in general. So could be a rough little, like, short period that should get better over time. I'm not really sure. Of course, there is some talk, okay, like, you know, right now, of course, Microsoft rival Google, you know, are they going to still stream on YouTube? Like, are they going to go to Twitch, right? But then again, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so not really too much different on that front. This also is one of the major positive things that, well, Microsoft now owns MLG. They also own Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War, StarCraft, Overwatch, and many more once this goes through. Now, well, Adam Apicella of Esports Engine, now formerly of MLG, has been talking for many years that he would love to do something like this, right? You know, Anaheim Convention Center, massive open bracket and stages for all the top games. Like, that would just be phenomenal. You could have multiple games at a single venue. Like, this is just such a fantastic future to think about that, well, could happen, maybe won't happen, and it's probably going to take many months, if not years, to realize the full effects of this, but, well, hopefully that there's some positives that come as a result. So I definitely think exciting stuff. Definitely intriguing your thoughts down below, because it might not work out, but I guess at least we can hope that something positive is going to happen going forwards. But, you know, having talked about some positive news, let's talk about the negative stuff from Maven and Merk. So firstly, before we go through the tweets, I'll share a couple of clips for you guys from Merk's side, from Maven's side, discussing the fact that right now they don't know if they're going to get involved. This year feels different from their perspective as the previous years, where they've just delayed it for seemingly no reason, or I guess for negotiating, bargaining power type stuff. And this year it doesn't seem like they might get a contract at all.
So you're not casting this year? I mean, things could still change, but as of yesterday, yesterday was my last day of my contract from the previous year. I do not have anything for this year. I'll tweet about this probably later and, you know, dig a little bit more deeper into it. But as of right now, no. I am a content creator. I'm a free agent. Now that could still change, obviously. They could still send an offer.
Oh no, Wasey, you're good. I mean, you weren't wrong. Like, there's been times in the past where, you know, we're going back and forth, and they're playing hardball, and we're not sure we're going to be involved. And I, you know, kind of said, I'm not sure what's going to happen. But this is a bit different. We'll see.
So as Maven describes, I genuinely don't know if I'll be involved in the CDL this year. The last 2 years have been frustrating. We had more staffing and budget than ever on the production side and felt we went backwards in so many ways. I fought battles internally and maybe that is hurting me now. I hope this gets figured out. I want to do this forever. Call of Duty is my life. The only thing I want for it is to reach the levels I know it can. If not, I plan to do freelance and potentially work with an organization on Call of Duty content. Have a delightful day, he says. So quite remarkable. Like, this bit especially especially, right, where he says, look, I fought battles internally, and maybe that's hurting me now. We know that Maven Merk, they're the premier casting duo. They're the ones who I imagine, well, command the highest salary. And that's why in previous years, we've seen even last year, they weren't at the Kickoff Classic, because I'm pretty sure they were still working out their contracts with the league to make sure they got as much money as they possibly could. Who can blame them? But it seems like Maven's been pretty frustrated with the state of the league and the way it's been going the last couple of years. I imagine he's had his conversations internally, 4 battles internally, he says, and maybe that's hurting me, as in, like, they don't want to hire me again, because I'm not just a yes man, right? I don't just sit there and take everything and all the frustrations. Like, well, I go back and say XYZ's wrong, it's bad, we should fix it, and therefore they're not hiring me as a result of that. So this is quite remarkable, because, I mean, these two, they've been around Call of Duty for so many years, they've done so much for the scene, frankly. For them to get effectively blanked by this is quite incredible. Now, of course, look, there may well be more to the story here. We've just seen Maven's perspective, we've just seen Merk's perspective as well, as he says, competitive COD has been a staple in my life for the last 12 to 13 years. As Maven tweeted, we are in the dark. For now, I'll be focusing on content and freelance work. Luckily, my stream's in the best place it's ever been. I'm wishing those working on the broadcast this weekend good luck. But, I mean, yeah, Maven and Merk right now, nowhere to be found. This is not like the previous years. Like, I was kind of not too worried about it, but now there definitely is a serious cause for concern, because as Teep says, the fact this is even a conversation you are still having speaks to the state of the CDL and competitive Call of Duty. What a joke. Always here for you, will host your stream every day if that needs to happen. And this also, as Maven says, haven't even received an offer, but sure, community support obviously helps. So, saying that, like, look, they haven't even received an offer, there's no contract on the table, there's nothing for them to even consider. Like, it seems like the CDL just straight up don't want them back for whatever reason, right? There must be more to this, right? And of course, the community is already kind of in uproar, and if they don't return at all, then people are going to get very frustrated, right? And I kind of wonder how, they're meant to do these community updates every month or so. Like, how are they going to address this in the next one, right? Are the CDL going to give their perspective on why they aren't doing this? Is there even a good reason? Of course, Maven's going to give his perspective here. I thought this was quite interesting, actually, in reply. This guy, J-Bone, it's a burner account with only 1 follower. And as he says, heard from a few places Merk somehow finessed a stupid salary, didn't want to accept it, but he did. Now he's asking for another raise and got rejected. Neither of them are being honest about it. Both want to stream full-time, he reckons. They both work less than a past-time schedule. Going public with this, acting like the CDL is ignoring them, that's a bad look. And as Maven says, I just read this more nonsense. Worked the schedule we were offered, same as the rest of the crew, and going public with what? Contracts are over now. Their contracts, I'm pretty sure, ended yesterday. That's why they can talk about this. We won't be at the first event. I don't know if we'll be involved, but this burner is help confirm my suspicions. So, like, this is just really interesting stuff, right? There's this burner with 1 follower that's talking about stuff that maybe they could have heard internally with a, let's say this is some employee, right, at Activision in the CDL that's putting this out there, right, and kind of thinks the other perspective, that doesn't want to do it on their main account, and Maven's like, helping confirm my suspicions, and that kind of maybe the agenda against Maven and Merk behind the scenes at the CDL. Who knows? This is speculation, but it is quite remarkable to consider nonetheless. And just to finish off with this then, so Tun, I mean, I'm really happy that Tun's getting this opportunity. It's been such a long time coming, frankly, but Tun's been a fantastic caster for so many years in Call of Duty. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I really like him. A great guy, and also a great and really talented caster. Now, Tun, it seems, is going to be joining the CDL crew. Is he going to be there alongside Bryce? I'm not sure. I didn't see a contract or anything from Bryce. Maybe it's going to be Tun and Alicat as one of the casting duos, Miles and Chance as another one, and then do they bring back Lando and Standy? I don't know. Whoever they bring in, it's obviously going to be a downgrade, but yeah, lots I'm sure to discuss on this in the coming days. And just to mention this as we finish out with here from Octane, can we have a ranked playlist now at Bill Gates, right? Like, hopefully Bill Gates is going to deliver to the boys ASAP. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I just like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care. And I will see you next time.
Nobody knows.